Okay, so now this is the next phase, we'll call it, of the garden. We decided to build a walkway, and we wanted to create a woodland garden, kind of a woodland feel. And it started with a trip that we took to Mendocino. We went to the Botanical Garden in Mendocino, and they had this kind of woodland area with these berms on either side, and I don't know, I found it really nice, really interesting. And so that's the goal. That was the goal with this. The other inspiration for this area was the garden at the Arboretum, the LA Arboretum that I went to when I was getting my Master Gardener training. They had this one section where they had these, what they call hugel cultures. And it was some logs and down trees that they piled up, and they built these hugel cultures with grasses, and they just took everything they had, they piled them up. It's a form of permaculture. And they piled sod, they just put wildflower seeds everywhere, and all these poppies came up. And I don't know, it's just a beautiful area. And they have these dead branches and logs on the side of the trail. I don't know, I just got a lot of inspiration from that. So that was what we tried to recreate. Okay, so I'm going to show you the orchard. We have a fruit orchard on one side. We have apple trees. So we've got, let's see, 2 Fuji apples, a Dorset Golden that does have a lot of apples. The 2 Fujis are really young, so I didn't prune them at all this year. I just want them to establish themselves before I do anything. In the background is an apricot tree. It does have apricots, so they just thinned, you can't see them. There's a nectarine, a persimmon that we just planted last year. I pruned that heavily because I want to establish that when it's young. A peach tree that I did prune heavily to establish it at an early age, to get it low growing and not too many branches. So that's pretty much it. There's another, you can see the other yellow lupin bush over here. On the other side of the pathway, if you could scan over, we have you can see where we're going to be putting a pond, and then a berm with the birds, where I just planted a bunch of wildflower seeds. But you can see the woodland feel that we're trying to create with the logs on the sides. And Mike put in this nice pathway with crushed granite, and we have this kind of meandering feel. We got this, and some of these bushes, these shrubs that we put in are from originally native to Australia. There's the hot lips, there's salvia. We picked up that Merlot Eastern redbud, or type of redbud. It's a Merlot redbud. We got that at the Mendocino Botanic Garden. Corn poppy. This is a hugel culture here. So this has logs in it, has manure, has layers of logs, manure, mulch, grasses, branches, you name it, everything is in here. And it'll gradually break down, and we don't have to water. So it's self-watering. Collects the moisture from the atmosphere and the soil, waters itself. And here's another hugel culture on this side. You can see how well it's doing. It's got cosmos and things just growing out of it that I planted. Our latest hugel culture is over here. You can see we just covered it with mulch, with bark. But it'll be breaking down, and we'll be planting things on it pretty soon. But that's how we built it. It's got manure, layers of logs, and I have another video showing how to build those. And let's see what else. That's another hugel over here. Continuing on the path. Another red bud. This is Mike built an enclosure around, this is the well that we built an enclosure using reclaimed wood off of a barn in Indiana.
150 years.
150 years old. That we got from a place in Paso Robles. Another hugel culture. Hopefully we built all these hugel. This is our first hugel right here. We have to put some more bark over it. And then this is the end of our walkway. Here comes Dookie. But yeah, this is the first hugel culture, and it keeps settling down. This is pretty high when we first built it. It settled down quite a bit. And behind it, this is our latest addition. This is a desert garden. So we have a ginkgo tree, 2 Palo Verde trees, and we're just adding some agave, and I want to add some barrel cactus and some other plants there. But we're just doing the structure right now. We go out on these rock hunts and collect rocks that we can build up things with, and we just kind of adapt as we go. But I got an idea from the Santa Barbara Botanic Garden what to do in that area. So that's kind of a work in progress. So that's about it until our next project.